All right, everybody, welcome back. Let's get right into it today. Let's take a deep dive into something that might hit a little close to home for you. All right, we're talking about money, right?
Oh, yeah.
Specifically, we're going to be taking a deep dive into Dave Ramsey's The Total Money Makeover.
Ah,
All right, and we're going to be looking at what he had to say on this topic on a podcast interview we found. Maybe you're battling credit card debt, or you know dreaming of owning a home, or maybe you just, want to feel a little more in control of your finances.
yeah.
Whatever your goals are with your money, right? Right. Ramsey's wisdom could be a real game changer. I mean, this guy, he really lays it all out there.
Well, and I think what's interesting about Ramsey, right, is that he doesn't shy away from challenging the way we've been conditioned to think about money.
Right.
He throws out this idea of, achieving like financial peace,
The
right?
financial piece.
Which sounds kind of zen, right?
Yeah.
But when you really get down to it, it boils down to something pretty practical, right?
Yeah.
Living within your means, building up your savings, investing wisely. I mean,
Yeah. It's almost like he flips the script, right?
yeah.
Like it's not about, keeping up with the Joneses or chasing the latest gadgets. It's about, finding contentment and security in a different way,
Yeah.
a different way of looking at things. But how does he suggest people actually get there?
Mhm.
I mean, it's one thing to say live below your means, right? It's
Yeah.
another thing to actually do it.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, and that's where I think his famous 7 baby steps really come in, right? It's like a step-by-step roadmap to kind of get from where you are financially to where you want to be.
Yeah, yeah. The baby steps. The one that always, gets me is that debt snowball method.
Mhm.
That idea of tackling the smallest debt first,
Right.
regardless of the interest rates.
Mhm.
That always seemed a little counterintuitive to me. Like, wouldn't it make more sense to get rid of the high interest debt first and then?
You'd think so, right?
Yeah.
But that's really where, Ramsey, I think, taps into the psychology of motivation.
Okay, yeah.
You see, when you knock out that small debt, right?
Mm.
No matter how tiny it is, your brain gets that hit of dopamine.
Oh, okay, I see.
Right. It's a little reward.
Mhm.
It reinforces that behavior.
Yeah.
It makes you more likely to stick with the plan. It's kind of like, I don't know, leveling up in a game. You get a little taste of victory and you want more.
Yeah, I get it. So it's not just about being smart with numbers, it's about understanding how our brains work.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Now there's another Ramseyism, we'll call it,
Mm-hmm.
right? That I know gets people talking.
Mm.
That debt is not a tool statement.
Right. Right.
What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, it's a bold statement. It's a bold statement, right? Yeah.
It challenges the prevailing narrative. I mean, we're constantly told, right?
Yeah.
That debt is essential.
Mm-hmm.
Essential to getting ahead. Student loans, mortgages, even using credit cards to build credit, right?
Yeah.
But Ramsey, he argues that kind of thinking can lead to a very dangerous cycle of dependence.
Yeah.
Instead of you being in control of your finances, you're essentially, handing over that power to the lenders.
It really makes you rethink how we perceive debt in our society.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's become so normalized that we don't even question it anymore.
Totally.
Yeah.
And I think that's really what Ramsey's asking us to do, is to take a step back, and really consider those long-term implications of relying on debt. I mean, he wants people to feel empowered,
Yeah.
not trapped,
Hmm.
right? And to actually, start taking action, right? I mean, he always leaves his audience with that powerful question. What's one financial step that you can take today?
Mm.
And, I'm turning that question to you, dear listener.
Yeah.
What's your answer going to be?
I mean, it doesn't have to be this huge leap, right?
Oh.
Maybe it's, finally sitting down and making a budget, or downloading that budgeting app you've been hearing about. Maybe it's as simple as making your coffee at home instead of hitting that Starbucks drive-through every morning on the way to work. But I think, the important thing is to identify one small step that you can take, right?
Yeah.
To start building that momentum towards your financial goals.
Yeah. Love it. Small steps,
Small steps.
big wins.
Exactly.
I think this deep dive has been a real eye-opener, I think.
Yeah.
What are some key takeaways that you'd like to leave our listeners with?
I I think the biggest takeaway really is that financial freedom is achievable. It starts with shifting your mindset about money.
Right.
Understanding that debt isn't a necessary evil. And then just embracing the power of those small, consistent actions.
Beautifully put. All right. And before we wrap up, I got one final question for you to ponder, okay?
Okay.
If you truly believed that debt was not a tool, how would that change your financial decisions going forward?
Hmm.
Think about that.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you next time.